All right. So you know that we were last time in the last class we were talking about social enterprise. Okay, and I told you that it actually works in the same way other businesses work, right? The difference is that it has two more objectives, which ordinary businesses might not have. I'm using the word might because they might have, but they might not have as well. But for a social enterprise or for a business to be called social enterprise, there are three objectives which they are required to meet. One is profit, the second is planet, and the third is people. Okay, we talked about it. Profit, you understand, that is the objective of every business. But apart from that, they have an objective of planet, keeping the environment in its original form. And for that, they actually take steps not to pollute the environment in the form of land pollution, air pollution, or water pollution. Similarly, not cutting trees because you know that forests are essential for the survival of a country and for the people as well. You know that in Pakistan, the percentage is very low as far as forests are concerned compared to other countries. So social enterprise actually considers that as well. So they would like to use those resources which are renewable. Um, Rather than using coal and oil, they might be using uh, solar energy, right? So this is one of the way to keep the environment in its original form. The other objective is people as well, so we need to take care of them as well. I discussed that. So people can be in the form of customers, workers, suppliers, and community as well. Community means when I say we use the word community, it means people who are neither workers nor customers, but they are somehow affected by the business. So you need to take care of them as well. I told you earlier that maybe there's a factory there somewhere in a residential area, and whenever the trucks they actually come to load or unload the material, so there is a traffic jam throughout that area. So obviously the people who reside there, they face great difficulty in reaching to their home or to their destination. So it is the duty of the business, that is social enterprise, to either build another road so that it will be convenient for the residents as well. So this is one of the objective of social enterprise, that is people similarly uh, giving a quality product to the customers, but not charging too high a price. You should not charge too high price from customers. That is also an objective of social enterprise that comes under the objective of people. Similarly, they do not use child labor because you know that the right of the children is to play and to study so that they can make their future. So if you involve them in hard work, one, they are not physically that strong. It may affect their body negatively as well. And secondly, they won't be able to study and to make their futures. It means that they will keep on doing the same work throughout their life. So for that, you know that in all countries there is age restriction that below 16 you cannot hire children. So there is a law there. In Pakistan, law might be there, but enforcement is not there. But they consider that doesn't matter whether there is law or not. They always hire adults rather than child labor. And but you know that there is an issue there as well. When they try to, and which is the most important objective? The most important objectives are people and planet rather than profit. Although for social enterprise, all three objectives are there to be met, but people and planet are of top priority. So it means uh, if they need to compromise on the objective of profit, they do it. Okay, and that's why we'll talk about it. And there is actually another topic: conflict between objectives of social enterprise. And you know what is it? It is that when social enterprise tries to achieve one objective, the other objective is compromised. The other objective cannot be achieved. We'll talk about it in the next slide. Okay, now let's have a look. Um, as far as the definition is concerned, I showed you in previous class as well. A business or service with primarily social objectives whose surpluses are principally reinvested for that purpose is the community rather than being driven by the need to maximize profit for shareholders and owners. So I told you it's a bookish definition. You can come up with your own definition as well. But remember, key elements must be part of that definition. It's written there. If you can see, let me highlight that as well. If you can see, one of the key feature is that their primary objectives are social. It means profit is their objective, but is not their primary objective, as in the case of other businesses, right? Then they are talking about surplus as well. Okay, what is surplus? You know that this is they are talking about profit. Okay, so and they reinvest that again. That is important. It means they do not actually distribute it among their shareholders or owners. They whatever profit they earn, they reinvest it for the welfare of the community. Okay, so these are the key elements which are part of this definition, and you need to consider that while defining. So it does not mean that the shareholders do not get any profit. They do get profit, but majority of the profit is actually reinvested rather than being distributed among the shareholders or owners. That is the main difference. Compared. On the contrary, in other businesses, majority of the profit is distributed among the owners of the business or shareholders of the business. And the rest of the profit that would be quite small, that is reinvested in the business for expansion. Here, the opposite is true. All right. Now, moving onwards, that is that, yeah. Now, examples. So you can see there is Kasha Foundation there in Pakistan, and it's very near to City School Ravi campus. You know the petrol pump near Expo Center. So that office is adjacent to that building, and you will find the letters, do can't you pay there as well. And what do? They provide low-cost microcredit to the women to start their business. So they believe in women empowerment, and that's why you know that the women they want their female members of society to be independent. Okay, and there's some females are widows, some do not have their husbands with them, so that's why, and they have to feed their family. I mean, their children. They have to support them. So for that, they provide them with low-cost microcredit. Now remember, when I say microcredit, no, just a minute. Yeah, microcredit. Do you know what is microcredit? This means small. Okay, so they provide, and the credit means obviously loan. So they provide small loans to females who are in need of it, and they want to start their own business, right? And in that way, they will be independent. But you know that ordinary banks, they do not provide loan to females, such females. Do you know why? Because their objective is profit, there is an element of risk involved in that, and they feel that if they lend money in a small amount, they might not be getting a lot of profit. So it is better to lend money to a large business, to a multinational. Okay, so here maybe the profit will be higher. Social enterprise such as Kasha Foundation, they do it because their purpose is not only to earn profit. In fact, the primary objective is to, I told you earlier, one of the objectives, people. The women is part of that objective, people, right? And let me show it to you as well. Just a minute. It's right there. So you can see that Kasha Foundation, right? So I'm just showing you the website there as well. So you can see the pictures as well. The females are there who are very poor and they are not able to feed their families. Okay, any of the reason, maybe their husbands are ill or they are not with them or they are divorced, whatever it is, the Kasha Foundation is there to help them out, right? You can see that website as well. Okay, so have a better understanding. Okay, so Kasha Foundation is there, and you will see all females there because they believe in women empowerment over there. They actually provide loans to females to have their own business, such as stitching clothes, right? So this is okay. Similarly, now if I talk about other businesses, similarly, let's say another social enterprise is BioLite in UK, and BioLite, what it actually provides low-cost energy solutions. It provides low-cost energy solutions as well And apart from that, they provide camping equipment as well. You can see that, okay, lighting is there, but now you know that their objective is profit, people, and planet. So they need to secure planet as well. No? In Kasha Foundation, we talked about the objective of people there, right? Here we can talk about planet and people both. How? Because they want to keep the nature in its original form. So for that, they do not use non-renewable resources such as coal and oil. So they use something which can be used for a longer time period. Okay. So for that, if they provide camping equipment as well, so such as lighting equipment. So you know that hikers, they actually take it with them and they can use it there as well. But it is for those people where electricity is not available. Think, think about that. Let me just show it to you. So here it's stored there as well. Okay, but they are run on such energy which is non-renewable. So it means that they are actually meeting the objective of people as well, and they are meeting the objective of planet as well, because they are not using those resources which cannot be renewable, and obviously they won't be living for the coming generation. And the living standard of the coming generation will go down for that. Even they have cooking equipment as well. You can see that fire pit, cooking pit, right? Cooking kit, right? So portable griller, you can take it anywhere, so you can use it. So if they are helping out people as well, they are facilitating people, and apart from that, but again, their prices might not be, being a social enterprise, they won't be charging too much from the people, because they are one of the better people as well, right? Similarly, if I talk about another business, okay, just a minute. Now, if you see the mission of BioLite, now see that. Let me just show to you. Just a minute. Yeah. So now see, to empower people and protect our planet. See, so they are actually into meeting two of the objectives, people and planet. Although the third objective is also there, that is profit, but the top priority is not that objective. Now you can see that a lady is actually installing a light in a dark room, and now it's available. It's a portable light, and a female can make use of that. And especially in those areas where people cannot afford light or the electricity is not available there, they provide actually low cost energy solutions to such people as well. You can see that again, another female going for the cooking equipment as well. Now again, light is there, right? So this is how they do work. They actually manufacture solar panels as well. Again, this is renewable. No? I mean, solar. It's actually abundant. No? It is available in abundance, huh? Because nature provides that solar energy. Now, so cooking equipment is also there. So females who are poor, they can buy that, or where there is no electricity there, they can. You can see that as well. Now, the other person is guiding them, right? So this is how they are actually trying to make their. Similarly, another social enterprise is Divine chocolates. They actually produce chocolates, and we know this is the divine difference. And they say that the taste is their USP, tasting chocolate and equitable business model. Okay, now, but how it works as a social enterprise? Because chocolates are manufactured by many businesses, you know that. How is it different from other ordinary businesses? The difference is that they actually take, you know that one of the ingredients which is used in chocolates is cocoa beans. I hope you know that. Okay, let me just show you. I think there might be a certain picture there as well. Yeah, there. So cocoa beans are there. You can see that a lady is picking it up, and you know that these are actually picked up by poor farmers there in Africa as well. Okay, so they take cocoa beans from them, but by paying them a reasonable price. Remember, if farmers are poor, they'll be willing to sell cocoa beans at any price because they're so poor, right? But they actually feel that they must be given a fair price for those cocoa beans. So they buy it from them in its original form, okay, and they pay a fair price to the farmer as well, so that they can support their families as well. That is why they are running as social enterprise, right? And moreover, if I talk about chocolates, so all natural ingredients are there, which is manufactured by cocoa beans. Again, they cannot compromise on human health. You know that. Chocolate is not good for everybody, but because they use natural content in that ingredient there, that's why again they are meeting the objective of people there in that context. All right, so we are done with this social enterprise. I mean, I hope that you all are very clear about that. Is there any issue? Anybody? Please feel free to ask. Any questions from the side? No question. All right. Okay, so let's move on. I'm sharing it again. Sorry, I'm sharing it. So now you can see, now it will be very obvious to you. See the examples. The Kasha Foundation, BioLite, Celco. Yeah, again, Celco is in India, right? And it again offers energy solutions to people just like BioLite, but BioLite is UK, Celco is in India. And Divine Chocolate, I just explained you that. Now moving onwards to characteristics of social enterprise. Okay, now let's have a look because now you are quite familiar with the term social enterprise and the businesses. Now, similar to other businesses, as far as operations are concerned, I told you earlier what are operations. Operations are the main activities of the business. Okay, either they produce something or they provide services. Like Kasha Foundation provides low-cost micro credit to females. So this is their operation. This is their main activity. Okay. Similarly, Divine Chocolate produces or manufactures chocolates. That is their main activity. That is the operation. So, social enterprise, they work similar to other businesses, like they manufacture or they provide services, and they use the same techniques which can help them reduce their cost, okay, and increase their profit. Okay, but yes, they do not increase the price much compared to other businesses because otherwise their objective of people won't be achieved. Because customers, if they find it expensive to buy, there's a profit there. So they do advertise as well, and they use all other strategies which are used by other businesses. Competes with other businesses in the market, yes, they do. Generally, if you see the name, you might not see the word social enterprise along with that. Like Kasha Foundation does not use the name social enterprise, but it is a social enterprise. So you might see social enterprise working as an ordinary business, but if you go deep into it, you will find that it's a social enterprise because they have other objectives as well, such as philanthropy. Then strictly follow ethical values while taking decisions. Yes. Now this is very important. Do you know what is ethics? Anybody? Iras, can you tell me what does it mean? Ethics? Any idea? No? Anyone else who can explain me? Okay, is my voice loud and clear to you, everybody? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay. So now remember, ethics actually, ethical values, that is actually the perception of the people of what is good and bad. Okay, and these are actually the values which govern the way the business should be done. Like for example, you know that we always say ladies first, right? So it means we pay respect to ladies. This is part of ethics. But if you do not do it, it does not mean that you will be sentenced to imprisonment or you will put behind the bars. Like if you take the seat in a bus rather than giving it to the female, people might consider it as a bad action, right? But they can't punish you for it. Similarly, we always in our society, it is recommended that we should always say salam to our elders. Again, this is part of ethics. Okay, we should greet and meet happily our guests as well, whoever arrives. So again, this is part of our culture, and culture actually takes us towards those values which we need to follow in as a member of the society. So similarly, businesses, they follow certain moral values as well. So ethical values basically actually are moral guidelines. Okay, and all businesses who follow ethics, they follow those guidelines to take all the decisions. And you know that when we say ethics, it considers not only their owners or their employees who are working there. It considers the people at large, the people who are there in the community as well. So it means you, while taking a decision or while locating your business, you need to consider the effect of your business on all other people or even on the environment as well. So because I told you that they have the objective of people and planet as well, so it means that they do have very strong ethical values and they have to follow them. Every decision they take They do not consider only the objective of profit. They do consider strongly the objective of people and planet. And in fact, it is rather more important. So that is why I wrote strictly follows ethical value. Other businesses might not follow it. Okay, like let me give an example. Uh, at one point of time, when there were many restaurants who were closing down just because they were untidy. They were not hygienic, especially their kitchens. So the same in the same day, or I think in that time period, McDonald's actually announced through their promotional campaign that our kitchen is your kitchen. You can visit our kitchen anytime, because they were following those hygienic uh, uh, precautions, right? So that means that they were following ethics there as well. So it means that social enterprise, although McDonald's is not a social enterprise, but why they were following that? The reason is because people will get a soft image, people will get a good image about that brand, and they would like to visit that. That would increase the sales of the business, and as a result, more profit will be earned. So back of the mind, the objective of profit is there, right, for McDonald's. But for social enterprise, back of the mind, profit is not their objective. Okay, the objective is people and planet. So that's why they consider strongly ethical values. But compared to ordinary business, if they feel that if they follow ethics and their profit will go down, they won't follow that. Like if they feel that if they hire adults, they will charge much, and other businesses are using child labor. So obviously their cost will increase because they are hiring adults and they have to pay higher salaries to them. And their competitors or rival businesses, they are using child labor where they have to pay lower wages. So in that case, that business will stop using hiring adults, because back of the mind, the objective of profit is important. So they won't care about ethics or ethical value at all. They will start using child labor again. But that does not happen in case of social enterprise. Doesn't matter profit goes down or not, they keep on using, keep on following ethical values. Then we have majority of the profit is reinvested to benefit society. I told you earlier, so there's no need to explain that. And very small portion is distributed among the owners of the business. Then we have profit is not its main objective. I told you profit is the objective of social enterprise, but it is not the main objective. I told you. Benefit to society is the main objective. I told you earlier. So it includes people and planet, different from charitable institutions. How it is different? Because if I talk about Shaukat Khan Memorial Hospital, it is a charitable institution, charitable trust. Why? Because they get donation every year from all over the world, right? But if I talk about social enterprise, they have their own financial resources. They do not get funds from the people. That is the difference. So social enterprise is not a charitable institution because they have their own financial resources. Charitable institutions, they do not have their own resources at all, and they get funds from the public on regular basis, such as the Chocolate Fund Hospital. Trust. That is why they use the word trust there, right? Whenever the word trust is there, it means it's not a social enterprise. It is basically a charitable institution. So social enterprise is different from that, right? Okay, moving onwards. Now, okay. So it follows ethics. I told you earlier what are ethics, right? Um, then aims to satisfy people by providing them with good quality goods and services. Yes, that is their responsibility as well. I told you earlier about Divine Chocolate. Huh? So they use 100% natural ingredients while making chocolates, rather than using artificial flavors because it's not good for human health. And people is one of their main objectives. Okay, and quality of the good is their top priority. I'm not talking about the taste only. It's about the ingredient they use in that. It should not be unhygienic at all for human health. Works for employee welfare to keep them motivated. Yes, they do care about it.
सर ये टेक्स्ट बॉक्स देखने चैट बॉक्स
All right. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, so sir, is class going on? Yeah, it is AS class. All right, yeah. So I think you are A2 student, right?
जी सर
Yeah, so you need to come at 12:10. I sent you the message.
ओके सर
All right. Okay, so it works for employees welfare to keep them motivated. So they do take care of the employees. Okay, and how do they do it? they actually take care of their health by providing them hygienic conditions at the workplace. Like the room temperature should not be too hot or too cold. There should be washing facility there so that people can wash their hands time and again. If let's say in case they are dealing with dangerous chemicals, similarly the salaries and wages should be given to them timely, like after every month. So this is how they take care of their employees. Then we have follow business principles to achieve targets. Yes. Now, what are business principles? Business principles. One of the business principles is by advertising their business, because they want to make people aware of their business or brand. So that is done through advertising or other promotion methods, right? So they do it, and other businesses also do it. Okay. Another business principle is that they try to reduce their cost. They try to minimize their cost so that they can increase the profit. Because otherwise, if they do not earn profit, it's very difficult to expand their business or even run their business activities on regular basis. So they follow such principles as followed by other businesses as well, such as marketing, advertising, keeping the cost low as well, and coming up with good quality products, improved products. So they do it. Strive to make profit. Yes, they do. They do earn profit, and they do make effort to earn profit. Try to remain efficient and effective to achieve excellence as well. Now you need to understand there are two words here. Okay, let me write something for that. Now, when I say efficient, efficient means that low cost, right? That whatever they do, their cost should be minimized. This is about efficient, remaining efficient. When I talk about effective, it means it's all about meeting. It's all about meeting objectives, remember. Okay. So if both are there, it means that they are able to reduce their costs as well, and they are able to achieve their targets as well. Okay. So this is how they are able to achieve excellence. Because if they have low cost, but they are not able to achieve their objectives, such as profit or growth or expansion or having good brand image, then obviously they are likely to fail. Similarly, if they are efficient, they have low cost, okay, they have low cost, but they fail to meet their objectives, such as profit or good brand image. So again, they are likely to fail because people are not going to buy from them. Okay, just a minute, let me erase that. And I am actually in search of, in fact, I did not get time, but I'll soon get the stylus, and then it will be easier for me to write it on the slides. Okay, faces competition and makes efforts to remain competitive. Yeah, because there are other ordinary businesses as well, and they have to compete with them. So how do they compete? Yes, by advertising more, by coming up with improved products, by charging lower prices, like so by treating patients well. Like let's say it's a service business, so they do it and they compete with other businesses. So these are the similarities which are there in social enterprise in comparison to other businesses. Now, triple bottom line, I told you earlier. Now, triple bottom line is actually a term used for three of the objectives of social enterprise. I told you earlier, people, planet, and profit. So we call them social objectives, environmental objectives, and economic objectives as well. So it's the same, right? So these three objectives are called triple bottom line. So if there is a question about triple bottom line, it means that you have to mention these objectives and how to develop these objectives. You can come up with examples as I gave you, right? Come up with examples to explain these objectives, you will get maximum marks. Although I will give you a model answer as soon as the chapter comes to an end. Okay, and after discussing past paper questions with you of this chapter, I will take a class test as well, right? So do remember that. If you have any queries from this chapter, because we are going to finish it, do let me know. But I understand that because you are not very familiar with the past paper question, although I did discuss in the class as well, in face-to-face class, but I will discuss some more past paper questions based on the same chapter, and then I will involve you in that class test. Okay, now this is again a past paper question, and it's not there in the textbook. That's why my notes are very handy in that context. Conflict between the triple bottom line objectives. Now, what does it mean, conflict? Conflict means disagreement. So in simple words, we say if social enterprise tries to achieve one of the objectives, the other objective is not achieved. I told you earlier. Okay, let's have a look. The most prominent issue faced by such enterprise is how to remain competitive and profitable, right? Because if they need to compete with other businesses as well, okay, and for that they need to have profit as well. Like for example, if they try to remain competitive by reducing their price, obviously their profit will also go down, because they are charging a lower price. So they can't be competitive and profitable at the same time. Sometimes it is difficult, but sometimes you might be able to reduce your price, still you are able to earn enough profit because your cost is low. You are so efficient, you do not waste your raw material, and even if you lower your price, you still are able to increase your profit as well. So this is possible, but that is the issue faced by social enterprise. Now, example, the decision of not using child labor may increase the cost of the business. I told you again, if they hire adults, being a social enterprise, they have to pay a higher salary to adults. But if this happens, cost will increase, and when cost will increase, their profit would go down. So it means if they try to achieve the objective of people, the objective of profit won't be achieved. That is one of the conflict which is there. Similarly, saying no to cheap machinery to produce goods and services, that pollutes the environment. So if they use expensive machinery which does not pollute the environment or pollute the environment less, again it would be expensive. So it would increase the cost again, and then again the objective of profit might not be achieved. So again there's a conflict between what profit and planet, because they want to keep the planet in its original form, right? So that is the end of the chapter. Now, any question from your side, you are most welcome. But do not go anywhere, because I just want to show you one of the questions which I missed out in the other class. So is that clear? Any question from your side? You are most welcome. Aiza, Iman, Firas, Faizan, Salva, Shahzeb, any question?
No, sir.
All right, so great, and I will share it, share the link as well. Don't you worry. And in that, I'm maybe my explanation might be different, but the same concept would be there as well. Okay, all right. Now let me show you one of the question, because that is related with added value. I'm just showing it to you to give you a clear picture about how to attempt question. Right? Let me share the screen as well. Here we go. Just hold on. Yeah, now I think I will be able to share this screen as well. I'm going to just quickly close it down. Yeah, here we go. Now you can see there are two questions which are linked with added value, right? We discussed the first question. Now I told you earlier, and today I'll show you share the video with you where I actually solved various questions as well, which we have discussed in the class. Now see the question, the second question. It's written briefly explain two ways a restaurant could increase its value added. Now देखिए इसमें difference क्या है? The difference is the first question is about operation management, right? It's about production. Okay, so मैंने उसमें जो mention किया point first वो है it's about attractive design of the product, because that is the job of operation management. Simple as that. But now I am talking about restaurant. तो context different हो गया. अब मैं design की बात नहीं कर सकता. Restaurant में कौन सा design होता है? तो अब देखिए मैं क्या लिख रहा हूँ. There are 3 marks again.